So, this may be a very unpopular opinion, but I'm just going to go ahead and say it, and it is what it is. I saw a video, and there were two men on a podcast, and they said if women are acting up, specifically they said black women, that it's the man's fault because we're supposed to be leaders of the community. I actually disagree with that statement, and I'm going to explain why. Yes, I agree men should be leaders of the community because it says in the Word of God that men are the head of the household. What does that mean? That represents leadership. That represents you being in a position to help your family out. Those who are under you, those who, and when I say under you, I don't mean like you rule them or anything like that. No, I'm saying those who are willing to follow your lead because they know you're a respectable individual who will show them the right way to live life or do the best you can in doing that. That's a high expectation. I get that. But at the same time, the way people act is not anybody's control. It's not an opposite sex control, right? So if black men or men in general are acting up in the community, that's not a woman's fault, and vice versa. A lot of times that falls on customs and traditions that they have been taught. I had a conversation with my grandfather the other day, and he was talking about how one of the reasons why a lot of women, black or whatever ethnicity they are, act the way they act, not all of them obviously, but more modern day ones, is because of what they've been taught growing up. They've been taught be independent, don't look out for no man. If you're gonna get with a man, make sure you take all his money, make sure you get with a man that has a lot of money, this and that and so on and so forth, right? So they haven't been taught traditional values. They have not been taught how to be a woman, you know what I'm saying, to be a real woman. And the same thing goes for men, because I brought that up to him too. A lot of men don't know how to be men because they haven't been taught. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, well, that's no excuse. And I think you're absolutely right, because at some point you have to learn. At some point, my hope is that you would have a father figure or a mama figure that would teach you these perspectives, depending on your gender and whatnot, right? I know for me, my father and my stepdad, love them to absolute death, didn't teach me things as far as how to be a man. They didn't teach me how to operate in masculine frame. They didn't teach me how I should go about things when it comes to women. They didn't teach me how to, do certain things and I'm not blaming them for it. Don't get me wrong. Love them to death. It's just they didn't really know, or it wasn't really big on their agenda. But now that I know these things, it's my job to make sure I teach the males that I know, particularly my students, because I have no children of my own as of yet, you know what I'm saying? And even the ladies, you know what I'm saying? Because you need a well-balanced viewpoint from both men and women, you know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, you need both. It's important. It's key. I don't care what anybody says. A lot of people say don't listen to what women say. You'll have some people that say don't listen to men say. Listen, you need a perspective from both. You need balanced intuition from both, okay? I think that's very, very important. So overall, without rambling too long, when somebody says that it's the man's fault that women are acting the way they're acting, or it's a woman's fault that men are acting the way they're acting, no. If you want to be real, it's both. And it's both because we're not teaching accountability. We're not teaching how to operate in a natural frame. We're not teaching how to be respectful of one another. We're not teaching how to... We're not teaching how to love each other. You know what I'm saying? And how to just be open-minded. Because if we're being 100% honest, let's be real. A lot of people say women are doing this because they're hurt. A lot of people saying men doing this because they're hurt. We live in a hurt society. All right? Everything ain't just on the men. Everything ain't just on the women. And as soon as we get into that mind frame that, hey, it's not his fault per se, it's not her fault per se, then maybe we can move forward as a community, as a black community, and as a community overall. And I say black community first because that's the main community that I'm involved in. But this is no matter what ethnicity you are, no matter how you grew up, no matter what religion you're part of. This is important, y'all, okay? So let's stop putting the blame game on each other And how about we start helping each other? But also, to those that are watching this, don't be saying, yeah, these men need to help us. Yeah, these... No. That's not the approach I'm taking, okay? I'm taking the approach of making sure that you are open to what other people have to say. Because a lot of times we get stuck in our own heads, right? And I'm guilty of that. Also, one more thing I want to say before I end this video, because it went on a little longer than I wanted it to. It's supposed to be really short. Communicate, guys. If it's something you like, if it's something you don't like, if you're hurting, I know that's easier said than done, but communicating is half the battle. We can't fix the problems if we don't know about them. I love you guys. Every single one of y'all. Let's work together, okay? We got this. We can do this.